Last year was my first Valentine's ever. I was dating this beautiful Ukrainian girl. I remember when my mom was driving me to school the next day, when I was getting into the car, she was telling me like, oh my God, like she is in love with you, like that. I have not seen a girl so into you before. I never had any social success when I was younger, and I realized that there's one thing that you can improve on that genuinely changes how many girls are into you, and that is improving your social life. Along with this other bit of advice where you need like a little bit of game, let's say, to tie it all together, and then you actually start attracting girls. And I'm gonna speak about that at the end of this video, along with this tip that I told two guys, and they used it for evil. They immediately, the next night out that they went on, they ended up hooking up with like 6 girls each, and I've only told 2 people this tip, and the exact same thing happened to both of them. So stay tuned for that. This one night I went out with my best friend from Australia and my best friend from Hong Kong. I promise you, when I arrived out that night, it was unbelievable. There was like girls, I remember these 4 girls came up to me and asked me for a photo, and we were going around speaking to a lot of our good friends. And then this guy, the bouncer, was my friend. So he got me in and all my friends in for free entry, and we're like hyping up and having a quick chat about boxing. And we went into this club, and we were genuinely just having such a blast. I literally had my sunnies on. I was actually enjoying the moment, like being in this club this night. And this wasn't like something that, a lot of the time when I went out with other friends, I would go into a club and I wouldn't really be like that hyped up. But then this girl came up to me, and this girl was like genuinely the best looking girl in the entire club that night. And like all my guy friends who knew her were like gassing me up and shit, because like she was literally all over me, like not to be disrespectful. And I realized this kind of shit only happens when you're with your really good friends, you're in a good mood, when you're actually going and saying hi to people. Like, I didn't go up to her, she came up to me. So even when you're just with your friends, I'm promising you this will start to happen to you. And even if this doesn't happen, I remember this one night it was 2 weeks ago, I was having an awful day after I stopped talking to this girl that I really liked. And then I went to watch my friend's basketball game, and within like 4 hours, we'd been eating dinner, we'd been laughing our asses off. I felt great again. I was good. Then I went to boxing training. I felt amazing. Even if you're not going to end up pulling girls on like having this great success, which you will, by the way, like that's just not going to happen. But even if it didn't work out, you would still be left with amazing friends who you love hanging out with. I would rather never meet a girl again, but keep all of my good, like best friends, than meet a new girl who I really want to meet. You know what I mean? I'm gonna explain how to build this social life in the rest of this video, but for now, if you're interested in content like this, click the subscribe button and let's get into it. One day I was at tennis and this new kid arrived. I was like, yo, what's up, bro? What's your name? Nice to meet you. We ended up having a really nice chat. A year later, because we didn't see each other around school that much, but when he was in my class, I brought this exact same energy, and he was a bit dry towards it. But then when I would see him at tennis after school, and we were training, he would be really friendly, he would chat. Or when I saw him at like school formal, like he was happy to have a chat and have a conversation. Sometimes people are genuinely in a bad environment to be social. And I think one of these places specifically is when people are at school, they're tired as shit, it's early in the morning, they're not actually going there to be social. And so I recommend, if you want to be social, you need to find a good place to go. You might be wondering where that might be. I was speaking to this guy who I really respect. I didn't see him for a while. He's been on a gap year in Hong Kong, half a year more than me. I've only been on my gap year for like 2 months. And I was saying to him, when I'm really locked in, it's a little bit hard to meet new people. I said, I'm chilling because I've already got my amazing friends, so I don't really put too much effort in. But he said, there is genuinely places you can go to meet a lot of these people in the gap year, like doing their thing in Hong Kong. And I said, like, yeah, where is that? He said, yeah, obviously there's like the Hong Kong races. He told me like a few niche like places where people go who are a bit older. But then he said specifically, join rugby. Because the amount of people you meet, the connection you make is amazing. And I thought about this and I was like, fuck, I should join rugby. I didn't, because I like boxing and I'm really bad at rugby. I got some really bad injuries. But even though I had such a bad experience with rugby, I was considering it for myself. It's chill because I'm still getting a similar effect by going to a boxing gym, meeting people who are like similar to me. But the thing is, bro, even I was doubting going to this boxing gym. If you're doubting doing something, I think you should just start. because I know you should just start. I was scared to start, and for a week I just kept slacking off. And then the day that I started going to the gym, it was like an anchor to my life. I started being really excited to go. I'm excited to go tonight. And it really started helping improve my life. Even though it was difficult as shit for the first week, I still felt the happiest that I'd felt in months. Because when you're exercising a lot, you're going to these like big sports groups. Yeah, shit, it's just such an amazing feeling, bro. Our greatest fear is usually where our task lies. That's a quote from a famous philosopher. One night I was out with all my friends, and I was talking to this one guy who's my good mate's cousin. And he was saying like, yo, what are you doing in Hong Kong? And I said like, oh, I want to box. He's the one who put me onto the boxing gym that I'm going to right now that I really like. He's the one who, like, I didn't know, but he had 8 fights. He's the one who pushed me over the line to find like a gym that was really good. I didn't have to try out like 3 or 4 gyms to find one that I really liked. I could just go to this one and I knew it was really good. And on top of that, when I arrived at the boxing gym, and normally you have to pay for 3 months worth of package, I asked if I could pay for 1 month because I didn't have 3 months worth of money on my card at the moment. And they said, you know what? Since you're that guy's boy, I got you. Because like my friend who introduced me, I went there, I said like, oh, he told me to come. I got away with this. This is something that only happens from connections normally. Maybe he was like, I'm sure that he was a nice guy enough to let that slide. But these kinds of things genuinely start happening so much when you have the right connections. I'm telling you, you get so much further through life in every aspect. So that's why I think it's really good to, when you're going out, speak about what you're genuinely interested in. Genuinely, when you meet people, tell them, oh, I really like boxing. And then that's when they can actually help you. I remember one night I went out, I said, yo, I might want to become a bartender. And this guy says, oh, my dad's friend knows this bartending place. When you speak about what you're actually interested in, you meet people who align with you better. And there's another example of how this is really powerful. My friend, we went out this one night. This was the first night we met. And when we were finished this night out, because it ended early in Australia at 1, we were hanging out, sitting down talking about stuff. And he told me about this hard experience he'd had with one of his sports team and getting kicked out. And he was being really vulnerable. And that's when I really respected that. He opened up to me. I felt so much closer to him after. I felt so much more comfortable telling him things about myself after. Even though I couldn't relate to being kicked out of a sports team, I could become a lot more comfortable around him because he just opened up. And since obviously, since I'm not a dickhead, there's all that's happened from that interaction is now when after he said that, I started telling him things that were personal about me, and we're so much closer. I actually have, even when I have regular conversations with him, they're so much better because you're so much more relaxed and the convo flows amazing. I remember this girl that I went up to when I was in Australia, and I had basically just finished exams and I was scared to talk to anybody. I was terrified. I went to the train station. I had actually gone one stop past my own stop, where I was supposed to get off. And when I was waiting, there was this girl who, she didn't give me any look that I knew that she really liked me or anything. But I noticed that I sat down and she was maybe glancing eyes at me. I wasn't sure. So I just said, hey. And do you know how scared I was to say hey to her? It was genuinely 1 minute saying please say, please say. And I finally managed to build up the courage to say hey. I ended up having a chat with her. It was actually normal, I didn't ask her anything. I just said oh, what's your name? School, what school are you at? Blah, blah, blah. This common small talk. If you're my age, say, oh, what school are you at? If you're older, say, what uni are you at? Blah, 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 right? After that, it was so easy to start going up to people. It wasn't immediately easy, but that was the hardest approach, the hardest conversation I'd had in months. Going up to a girl, randomly saying hi, that was so difficult. But then all of a sudden, I went to this. So I'm gonna tell you this story. After I'd done that, I was being quite social for a week, obviously building on my social skills. I managed to meet I went out this one night, I met this guy who I went to school with. He was with some friends. There was this girl there who was going to an 18th birthday the next day. And I didn't know this at the time, but it was an all-girls school. The girl who was hosting the party. So I arrived to this party the next day. I managed to get an invite somehow. Just because I'd been funny to be around or something, or chill. And then when I was there, on top of that, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, when I was there, I was terrified, bro. There was 50 fucking girls shit was hard. Like, you know when you go to a party, you're not social? What I do, because this happens to me a lot, I just say hi to as many guys as possible. Because talking to guys, bro, you been in the gym, man. Yo, shit, you be push-pull legs. Like, you just be yapping about sports and shit. Talking to girls, like, yeah, you can still talk about like that kind of stuff. You've been in the gym, but it's just not quite the same. And girls assume that a lot of the time, girls can assume that you're hitting on them when you don't already know them. When you're introducing yourself to a new guy, you're just being friendly a lot of the time. But when I went to this party, since there was like basically only girls, I had to really like build my social skills up that night. Talking, like, I literally went with a girl that I hardly knew. She didn't introduce me to anybody. It was like I was dumped in this party and I had to figure myself out socially. And I did. I'd been working on this. And you know, I'm like the social skills guy. So I pulled this off and I fucking took the risk, even though it might have backfired badly. But I get like, okay, that's a bit hard. Like, how did you do that? The thing is, the reason that I could pull off this like social masterclass, like this amazing opportunity. I know that some of the most popular, confident guys cannot do that kind of shit. The reason I did it is because the week before I went up to that girl when it was really hard to speak to her. I was at this party and I was saying hi to a bunch of new people. I had been with my friends getting comfortable being social for the last few weeks. I ended up meeting a girl that a couple girls that I liked that night. And yeah, it was fucking insane. Like that night I had so much attention from girls. Oh, this story connects. I remember after this party, I went out with a girl that I went to the club with this girl that I went with originally. But for some context, I wasn't into her at all, but we were genuinely like friends at this point. And so when I get to this club, I was kind of like, again, like dumped in this random social situation. I didn't know anybody. And then I said hi to this guy. Turns out he was my age, he's a gym guy, so I could relate to him on that front. We're vibing with his boys, he introduces me to these guys. They're funny, they're talking to like some 50-year-old woman as a joke, getting a photo with her. It's all funny and shit, right? And then I remember I saw this girl and I went up to her. Literally, when I started going up to these girls at this time of the night, after I'd just been in 2 fucking nuts social situations, I felt it was the easiest thing in the world to go chat, have a conversation with somebody. And I don't want to get into details of what happened this night, but let's just say it was a fucking insanely fun night. And I had a lot of attention from different girls. Just when you get that, like obviously I had to approach girls, but once you get that like social flowing, once you start speaking about your interests genuinely and you're making these good friends and you're getting comfortable going up to new people and you're putting the social life and the confidence together, you just have the most unbelievable fucking nights ever. Now these 2 guys were telling me like, fuck, I haven't been meeting any girls that are into me. And I gave these 2 guys the specific piece of advice. And literally the next night they went out, they told me like, Finn, that was the best advice. Like I ended up making out with a bunch of different girls. Like, bro, use this like knowledge for however you want. Like, I'm not going out hooking up with like 100 girls every night. But I like the fact that I could if I wanted to. That's fucking sick, bro. Most guys would never be able to do anything like that, even if they tried. Obviously, I'm not going to be like perfectly confident all the time, but I want you to know this advice. I'm going to tell it to you now. I said to them, okay, I have a question for you. How many girls have you genuinely gone up to in the last week and said, hey, you're really pretty? And none of like, have you gone up to 5 girls in the last week and had a conversation with them and made it clear like you're kind of interested? Because when you do that, the thing is, bro, you're gonna meet like, out of these 5 girls, only one of these girls, you're gonna be their type. Even if you're really good looking, bro. You know that, like, let's be honest, I'm quite good looking, I'm quite tall. This shit is the same for me. I have to go up to like a bunch of girls. Like a lot of the time, girls are not just trying to like maybe they have a boyfriend, like maybe they genuinely have a boyfriend. There's so many reasons, but just know, like, have you gone up to 5 girls recently? New ones, like girls that you've never spoken to before. You need to change your mindset from, oh, I can't pull, to, oh, I haven't gone up to anybody. You realize that. And then the thing that's shit is you need to do this like at the start. Maybe it's not 5 girls, unfortunately. When you haven't approached a girl in like your life, maybe it might be like 20 or 30 girls that you need to go up to before you can actually go up to them and have a genuine conversation, because the anxiety is so high. So it might, if you have like never had much dating success and you're not very social, this might be like a way higher number. But once you're being social, this is why I made this whole video about being social before giving you this specific advice, because when you're comfortable talking to like guys and like meeting new people, it's easy to talk to a girl that you're interested in, because it's just like talking to another person, except you say like, oh, you're pretty, you give them a compliment or two, you like hold eye contact a bit stronger. It's very simple shit that, you know, once you know, you can just keep doing. I changed my mindset from like, when I'm not getting with girls, when I'm not like having a good dating experience, have I even gone and told some girls that I'm pretty and that they're pretty? And you know, it's kind of shit, because you do a lot of the time, you know, once you're confident and you're having better conversations with them, they're gonna be way more into you. And like at most, if you go up to 10 girls, the first 9 girls are probably gonna like say no. But by the time you get to the 10th girl, you have so much more confidence that when you actually have a chat to them, it actually goes well. A lot of the time they're interested in you. That is the best like point that you can get to. And you know, honestly, bro, I needed to do this reminder for myself lately. There was this girl that I messaged. The thing is, I messaged her because we didn't necessarily like have anything serious go on in the past, but this girl had like kissed me on the cheek one night out, and I messaged her. I'd met her like 2 months before, and I didn't plan on speaking to her, but then I was like, fuck it, I thought she was pretty. She kept coming up on my Insta, and honestly, I got she's like, oh, I don't see you that way. Maybe if I had gone up to her, you know, been having a conversation, being quite charming, maybe she would have been into me. But that's the thing. The only way to like get a better result is to keep talking to more new girls, is to like in person, like try and have better conversations. But you can't go up to a girl for your first time ever and expect yourself to have like be charming, to have good game. It's not gonna fucking happen, I'm telling you. Even as somebody who's so social, when I go up to a girl, I haven't spoken to a girl, even if it's the first girl that I go up to in a night, it's so much harder to go speak to them, because you have to like, it's really hard, dude. Sometimes I'm genuinely telling you, you need to go up to like 5 guys, then you need to go up to like a few ugly girls, and then your confidence is good that when you go up to a girl and you're speaking to her, the conversation's flowing. I mean, like, that's called a flow state, but it's gonna take such a long time. It's not gonna take long. It can happen like within a week, but it's gonna take like, the best way to get over this approach anxiety and like being scared talking to girls, and then to actually start having good conversations, is to just do it like 10 times, even though you know it's gonna be like really shit. Like, don't try it for 10 times and be so upset, oh, the first 10 girls I approached had no interest in me, because those are like, if you're let's say you pull 1 in 5 girls that you speak to, if the first 10 girls that you speak to all say no, the odds are still the same, bro. The next 2 girls you speak to will probably be super into you, if we're looking at this like really autistically, statistically. But the thing is, this is not something that you should be doing with girls that you're already friends with, that you've already met. This works well with like new people, and obviously like that's kind of shit for me. Like that, I don't really go up to as many girls in Hong Kong, because like they all know each other, and I don't want to be like known as a slut, right? But because like the rumor genuinely goes around in Hong Kong, but anywhere else in the world, like no one fucking knows. Like no one will ever know. You can just, you know what I'm saying? Even one night when I was in the hot tub, I'd been going up to a lot of girls, and we were at this like sports gym. All these girls who I'd been speaking to over the last week, it was going really well in terms of my dating life. But then I went to this event where normally I'm quiet, I'm sober, I'm like tired, I've just hit the gym. But this one specific night, when I was in the gym and I was in the sauna, I decided to start a conversation with this girl who was in there. And like, she was so nervous to speak to me. That blew my mind for a second. Like, when you come off as super confident, instead of you being the one who's nervous normally and they're confident, you become the one who's confident and they're nervous. And that's like, when you start doing that, and you don't even like realize it, you're just like genuinely having a good chat and you're not worried about chatting to anyone, all of a sudden girls are so fucking into you. Like, it's genuinely unbelievable. And that was when I realized, like, then again in like the hot tub, there's a hot tub, right? After I left the sauna, there was this girl in there, And I was walking and I was scared to go up to her, but she was like, oh, hey, can you turn on the hot, like the bubbler, right? And then she was smiling at me, and I was like, oh, what's your names, by the way? I had a good chat with them. I ended up getting this girl's phone number, and she ended, like, we were messaging a little, right? Nothing ended up happening between us, but the point is, you have no idea how many girls are interested in you once you become confident. Bro, no, not in a million years would I have gone up to a girl that I found pretty in the hot tub until I had been like getting over that. Once I had finally gotten over that fear of going up to new girls, then all of a sudden, bro, it was like these opportunities where you're walking in the street and a girl smiles at you, or there's this girl who you think is a 10, you will always walk past that. But when your confidence gets to a certain point and you also have like enough discipline to do it when you don't feel like it, you start meeting some fucking insanely beautiful girls. Like, no, I promise you, I don't know any other guy who does this. Like, there's my best mate, like, I know that he has confidence, but I hardly have any friends who genuinely go up that much. And honestly, I don't even go up that much, but I always know that when I'm approaching a lot of girls and I'm also in like a social mood, I don't need to be like hooking up with them, but when I just have the confidence to start those conversations, I just genuinely find myself drowning in attention. Like, it's ridiculous, and I promise you the same thing can happen for yourself. You know, just do some like basic skincare, hit the gym. Like, looks fucking matter, okay? If you're skinny as shit, you're gonna have like maybe not a 1-in-5 ratio, it might be 1-in-10. But I'm promising you, it's always like, even when you become really good looking, it's always gonna be hard to go up to girls. I fucking swear this advice works. It worked for me so quickly the last time I did like a phase like this. And I don't like flexing about girls that I've been with, but I promise you I know what I've been doing. Like, there's a few photos of like me with some girls in my slideshow just to get like the idea, but trust me, bro, this advice works whenever I do it. And the times where I don't have any like attention from girls, it's always when I'm not going to parties, I don't have a social life. It's always when I'm not going and like putting in effort to speak to a lot of new people. But when I have my social life, and then I also start like getting over this approach anxiety on top of that, it's way easier when you're already being a lot more social. That's when I genuinely have the best fucking experiences with girls ever. Thank you for watching this video, bro. Oh yeah, wait, one more thing. There's this one guy who was my good friend, and I said, I want to coach you. Like, I'll do it for free. I want to help you become more social because I want to prove to myself that I'm good at this. I want to have like somebody that I can learn to be a better coach from. I remember within 2 weeks, this guy found himself like speaking to a bunch of new girls. This guy, I'm telling you, he is so unbelievably social. Wherever we go, he's like getting recognized on the street. People are coming and saying hi. I am so proud of him. And obviously he's put in the effort, but I'm the one, like, let me take credit for a second here, bro. I taught him how to do this. I told him the strategies to go from like the big jump where you're awkward to being really social. And honestly, it can happen really quickly. Like, if you have crippling social anxiety, it's fucking horrible. I can speed up your results by like 12 times the speed. If you were gonna do it in a year and become super confident within a year of yourself really trying hard, I could help you do that within a month. I guarantee you. But if, like, obviously if you're so like socially anxious and you don't even think it's possible for you to become social, like that in that scenario, just take my word for it. I promise you I can help you, and I would love to help as many people like that. If you click the link in the description, I have a paid product, but it's like way more in-depth advice. I mean, obviously I have really good stuff here and you can access that for free, subscribe. But if you want to like speak to me one-on-one, I can give you the perfect pieces of advice. You know, all the people that I've done this for have completely changed their social life. There's a video of a guy that I helped a lot on, like, in the link in the description. There's like a testimonial. I've genuinely done amazing things with this channel so far, and I would love for you to be the next. So have a great day, bro, and take care of yourself.